Wondering why your house isn't selling? Think you have an unsellable home? Stay tuned for a case study on how I sold a house that had previously been on the market for 203 days, and I sold it closed within 60 days. Hey, it's Jonna with Home Smart Professionals Real Estate. I'm a realtor in Rhode Island, and today we're going to go over a case study on a home that I sold last year. So what had happened is I was the realtor for this lady's daughter, and I sold her house in a couple of weeks. It was on the market. It was a beautiful contemporary home, and it sold in a couple of weeks. And she confided in me, and she told me that her mom had had her house on the market for over 5 months, and the house just wasn't selling. So she asked me to take a look, maybe contact her mom and see if I could help her out. So I took a look at the home on the market. I was a little puzzled because I did some research and the house was priced spot on. It was priced well and it seemed to be a really nice home. It was in a community in Hopkinton called Ashaway. It's a beautiful little town, close to the beaches, close to the University of Rhode Island, easy commute to Electric Boat in Groton, Connecticut. So it was a great home, easy highway access. Couldn't really tell why that house hadn't sold. So once the listing expired, I spoke to the owner, the homeowner, met her at the home. We toured the house. It had a great layout. Beautiful home with built-ins. The house was built in 1843. So it was old, but it was in great condition. She had updated the electrical. She had updated the heating and hot water. There was a new well. The roof was fairly new. Really, there was nothing to be done, no major money that needed to be spent. They had added on a huge kitchen addition to the home, so it was in great shape, and I was kind of puzzled as to why it didn't sell. The first thing that I did notice was that the photos that were online from the previous agent were kind of dark, and they really didn't pop online. The description online wasn't really the best description, and it wasn't really marketed toward people that may love old homes. So there was some new construction in the area, but that wasn't really our competition because the house was old, and the people that are buying new construction really aren't the same people that are going to be buying an old historic type home. So I took the listing, I got it on the market, and it went on the market the day after Christmas. So as you can imagine, the holidays were there. I got the house under contract within a week and a half. And the first buyer, she didn't even show up for the inspection. Her mom was there. And funny story, I have never seen anyone do this on an inspection, but the mom actually brought dirty dishes to try out the dishwasher. So the mom was a little bit over the top. The daughter wasn't even there for the inspection, and the inspector was probably not the most knowledgeable inspector. He went in the basement and basically told the buyer's mom that the house was falling down, that the foundation wasn't sound, that the structure wasn't sound, and that she was going to have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to fix it. So my client, she, obviously she didn't want to sell something that wasn't safe. So she went and hired a structural engineer, which is really the top opinion that you're going to get as far as, structural safety. And he said that the structure was fine. So that wasn't an issue. But in the meantime, we wasted some time with that buyer. So I put it back on the market with the structural engineer's report stating that everything was fine, and with all the receipts for all the new updates that she had done to the home. And I got it under contract again in 2 weeks, and then that ended up closing in March. So all in all, about 3 months from listing date to closing date, and that was with a buyer that backed out. So what did I do differently? How did I market the home differently than the previous agent, and how did I get it sold in a market during the winter in New England. It's the holiday season. It was right between Christmas and New Year's. It was cold, it was snowy, and I still got the home under contract. So the way that I did it is I hired a professional photographer to take photos. But first, she had already moved out of the home. So she was paying the mortgage, she was paying the real estate taxes, and she was paying to heat this very large home and she wasn't living there. So I felt like I really needed to help her out. I felt like I really needed to get this sold for her. So I brought in some staging materials, because when you're dealing with a home that's not occupied, the kitchen and the bathrooms can appear to be very sterile and not interesting at all. So what I did was I brought in some white fluffy towels for the bathroom. I replaced the shower curtain with a bright white shower curtain to lighten it up. And I put some spa-like things in the bathroom, some bath brushes, some bath salts, some succulents, just to give it a spa-like vibe. In the kitchen, I put on the counter some bottles of wine, a cookbook, some bamboo utensils, and she had a breakfast nook, which was like a peninsula type counter. So I set that with place settings. The stools were still there, so I set that with place settings, and had the professional photographer come in. When I looked at the photos, it was kind of difficult to determine furniture placement for some of the rooms. So my client, my seller, she didn't really have a lot of money to spend on staging. So I wasn't going to pressure her to bring in a stager to stage the whole home with furniture. I used a virtual staging company. Now I know that there are some out there that do really hinky work, and I didn't use one of those. I used one that does a really nice job, and they staged the living room, the master bedroom, and the dining room with, because the home was older, I staged it with virtually. I staged it with modern farmhouse vibe furniture. It's common to see a home that is furnished, and then when you walk into it, to see it empty because because the sellers have moved on. So that's kind of common. I did mark the photos as virtually staged online so that people would know, it wouldn't feel bamboozled when they came into the house and saw that it wasn't furnished. But it really popped online. I had the exterior photo enhanced with a beautiful dramatic sky, a twilight type photo, so that was the main photo on the multiple listing on the MLS. So that photo really popped. And I think that combined with all of my efforts, the professional photography is huge, because the previous photos online were dark and not very appealing, even though the house was bright and sunny. There were tons of windows and it was very bright. It was actually just a beautiful home. And so the professional photography really helped showcase the light, the space, the architectural features of the home. And the description that I wrote definitely targeted people that wanted a piece of history, that wanted to own an older home. You have to realize that not every house is for every buyer. So you need to target the marketing that you do for the home and target it toward the people that might want the home, not target it toward everyone, because you're not going to get anyone. And then when I hosted the open houses, and also when people came to view the homes for private showings, I had a whole packet of information that showed some newspaper articles about the home, because it was old, it was historic, and it was featured in an old book. So I had all of that information attached with the disclosures and a beautiful flyer for the home. That package was given to every buyer that walked through, so that they would feel that they were looking at something that had value, not just a plain MLS sheet that most agents hand out. So the house did sell. My seller, my client, was extremely happy. She got the price. We did price it a little higher than than what I felt she would get for the home, that what the comparables indicated she would get for the home, but she did get the amount that she expected for the home. Usually when I price homes, I price them at round figures, so 275, 300, 325, those types of prices, because that's how people search online. So, and that I think helped her house be found more easily. If you price a house at 269, people that are searching at 270 and above are not going to see your home. So the pricing strategy did seem to work. And again, she didn't have to decrease the price. Her home sat on the market for 209 days, and she didn't have to decrease the price in order to get it sold. We listed it at the same price that it was before. So don't let a realtor tell you that your house didn't sell because of the price. Unless it really is the price, you have to do a deep dive into the statistics and really see what homes have sold in the area, how much they sold for, what homes are currently on the market, how long they've been on the market, what homes didn't sell, and why they didn't sell. So all of that has to be taken into consideration. But all in all, she was happy. It worked out great for her. She was able to move on with her life. She got the price that she wanted, and it was a pretty smooth transaction after we went through the first buyer. So again, just because your house didn't sell the first time doesn't mean your house is unsellable. If you are looking to sell your home, give me a call and I will definitely provide a free consultation for you. We can go over the numbers. I can make suggestions. I'm an accredited home stager, and I can make some suggestions for you that won't cost you any money. You can stage your home with things that you currently have in your home, and I'm going to do another video on that in the future. But again, give me a call and we can work things out. So don't lose hope. Thanks for watching. A thumbs up is the greatest compliment that you can give me. Consider subscribing for more real estate tips and tricks. And again, thank you for watching.